All right, so today we're going to be making pinch pots. And I have some examples here. Okay, here's a couple I've made. Now, these were made with less clay than you're given in your bags. So our pinch pots are going to be a little bit bigger than these, but I figured I would have some samples here. So you're going to take your clay out of your bag. I've just done that. And in these little cups, you'll all have a little empty cup with a cap. You're gonna pinch off just a little bit of the clay, all right? And you're gonna put that in the cup and set it aside. We're gonna be making something called slip with that. You'll also have a little bit of parchment paper. I want you to put that down on your surface and tape it down. I'm not gonna do that for the video because I can just hold it down. Okay, so on the parchment paper, you're gonna knead your clay. All right, kneading is just mushing it up. Now, when you see little cracks there, okay, that means it's a little bit on the dry side. With your small spray bottle, just give it a couple sprays. Don't get it soaked, just a little bit to moisten it up. I should take my ring off, it's gonna get dirty. Okay. And you wanna roll it into a nice, smooth ball. Now, you all have a couple tools, and they're random assortment, but you should have something that you could roll it out with. If not, your table partner will have something. Now notice how when I roll it, it gets smoother. Yeah? The sides are still a little bit cracked. I'm gonna add a little spray on the sides. Mush it up again. The goal here is to get it to be a smooth ball. Okay? Keep kind of kneading it and rolling it. Okay. Now, in order to get a really nice ball, you cup your hands slightly and you want to roll it in this area of your palms back and forth. You know, kind of form your palm to keep it in that zone on both of your hands. So I'm using this hand to keep it in the circle on this palm, and then when I switch pressure, I put it in the other hand. Okay? Try to get it as even as you can and smooth. Okay? You will be able to smooth it out more later, but I'm gonna use the table to smooth it too. Okay. Okay, now the next thing, once you have your ball here, you wanna keep it on the table on the flat side because this will be the bottom of our pot. So we want it to have a flattened bottom. You're going to, keeping the side intact, push down, try to go right in the center, push in to the middle, and kind of make a little hole right in the middle with your tool. Or your thumb works just fine too. Again, we can go in and smooth it all out as we go, but this is just, we're making the base of the pinch pot. And this is where you can decide how deep you want it, how wide you want it. So I'm making it, I don't want it to go all the way through, obviously, but I want it to be kind of deep. Because the other ones I made were more flat and wide. Okay, whoops, it's getting a little off center there, but that's okay. I'll use the table to flatten it out. Okay, once I have a nice, big enough hole, this is where the namesake comes in. You're gonna pinch it into a pot, okay? Now, this is Crayola clay, right? It's a Crayola air dry clay. So with nicer clay, you might not get as much of this type of thing here, these cracks, but you will still get some. So making the base of the pot, it's not gonna look perfect. But just try to get the shape of it. So try to get a nice pot, and it's gonna take a second. Try to enjoy it. Enjoy the process. Art is about the process as much as it is about the finished product. Okay. I'm gonna keep doing this for a second and then come back. Okay, now I've got a pretty decent, looks like a mini dog bowl or something. But now is the fun part. So, well, the whole thing's fun, but my favorite part is when you work with the slip. So this little bit of clay you put in this dish with the cap, don't lose the cap, because then we'll be able to save our slip for later. You're gonna put in just a little bit of water, okay? You can always, that's a lot. That's okay, because slip doesn't need to look pretty. Now I'm just gonna use my same tool here. You're gonna mash the clay up in with the water, okay? And what we're making is basically clay paste or glue, or just like something we can brush onto the outside to smooth out those cracks, okay? So I'm mushing it up, and I can always add a little bit more clay. Like I'll just pinch a little bit off of my pot, add it in. If you add too much water, even if you add too much water, you can still use the parts like on the side that are just basically like goopy clay. Oh God, almost just, I spilled my slip. All right, that's okay. We'll just make the bottom extra smooth. Always have paper towels on hand. Okay. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I was going to say you could drain some of the water and then have your slip be mostly just the clay instead of water, but I don't recommend just dumping it out on your workspace, but that's what happened here. So, wipe that up. And I'm gonna wipe off my tool. You're also gonna wanna have a cup of water, preferably warm water, but it doesn't have to be. You can always wash your tools at the end. Okay, so now I gotta kind of reform. Oh, before I add the slip, another little tip. So the top here is all, it's not very pretty, in my opinion. If I want to make it like what I did with this one, where I made it more flat, I took the end of this and just kind of rolled it on the top. You hold the sides still so the thickness that you want, so it doesn't get too thick. I'm not really in view of the camera. And you just like roll it on the top. Okay, that's something you could do. But you're going to, for the slip portion, you should have a little paintbrush somewhere in your toolkit, and you're gonna use that. This slip was kind of a disaster. So let me just see how when you paint the slip on, it smooths it out and fills in the cracks. So that when you want to go and paint it a color, it'll be a nice smooth surface and the color won't be melting into all the cracks. Now, here, that's like a good amount, a good globby slip. Okay? And do not be afraid, if you don't like your shape, to crumple it all up and start over with a ball and push your thumb in and start pinching around. We're learning how to do this, so try whatever feels right. And once you have shaped it how you want and covered it with slip, all like that, you can go in with a toothpick or, I don't have one right in front of me, but another sort of like carving tool and make any sort of etching you'd like and initial the bottom. Okay? And then you can take these home or leave them here and we can paint them next week if we have time. All right, that's Art Club. Now get going.